Let me tell you something that nobody warns freelancers about. A toxic client that doesn't just disappear, but they always come back. They wait, they watch, and the second you get quiet, the minute you start rebuilding your peace, that's when they come back crawling like they found God overnight, acting like they changed. And they never come alone. They come with offers, they come with opportunities, urgent projects, and just enough money to make your struggling side whisper, oh man, but I really do need the money. Trust me, I've been there too many times. This episode is about that moment right there. The minute your old poison shows up with a bow on it. And I'm going to teach you how to survive it. But let's get something clear. Toxic clients don't really miss you. They miss the version of you that they could drain. Clients who didn't respect your time, clients who drained your week with last-minute quick favors, clients who slowed down your entire business because their crisis became your crisis, their time drained your time. These people operate the same way every time. They use you up, they drain your internal bandwidth, they assume you'll never walk away, and when you finally step back, they realize no one else wants to babysit them at their worst. Nobody's gonna fill in the way you handle business. And suddenly, you're the best they ever had. But they're not really coming back with respect. You know that, right? They're coming back out of need, out of necessity, out of whatever little decent price you gave them. They're addicted to that. And at the end of the day, that's not really loyalty. So let's bring in Eric, because Eric is all of us. So Eric is a self-taught videographer, right? Let's just say videography, because I'm a videographer, so I can relate. Let's say Eric is a self-taught videographer. He worked with a company, let's say, called Brightline Renovations. Good money? Yeah, decent. But the issue? They owned his entire week. And he's a freelancer at that, so they shouldn't be owning your entire week, because that's like employer territory, and we don't want that. Constant texts, constant changes, rushed deadlines. Oh yeah, that's their favorite. And for no reason at that. Hey bro, one more thing. You know that type. And because Eric is a worker, because he loves what he does, because he loves his business and he's trying to make a living like everybody else, he kept saying yes. But they drained him so much that he stopped reaching out to them. And, he kind of wanted to go his own direction with it. He never could because they took up all his time. But eventually he stopped reaching out to them and started reaching out to new clients. And it was working for him. When Eric thought he would never really be able to make that kind of money with other clients who were grateful and less of an energy vampire, he started reaching out to new clients. He stopped hunting and started growing. So that previous toxic client that we were just talking about, they held him hostage without him even know it. One day he finally snapped out of it and cut the ties. And guess what happened? 2 weeks later, his phone lights up. Hey Eric, hope you're good. We actually got a big project coming up. We'd really love to have you back. The budget's great. Want to talk about it? But they don't apologize for all of the times when they low-key disrespected Eric, when he tried to stand up for himself and they dangled a carrot over his head and without saying it directly kind of implied that they could go another direction if they wanted to. Now that Eric doesn't need them anymore and they see that his talent is going elsewhere, now they want to talk. And here's the part that most people don't really want to admit. Eric's stomach dropped when he got that text. You know why? Because he could actually use that money right now. He's paying rent. He's covering bills. He's trying to invest in new gear. So now the temptation hits. And this is where toxic clients win. Yeah, this is their favorite position to be in. Not because they changed, but because they caught you at the right exact moment when you're vulnerable. And it's like these negative people tap into like a negative frequency within the universe, and they just always come at the worst time. A good time for them, bad time for you, when you really need the money, but you don't want to go back. So let's break this down. When a toxic client returns, you don't react from emotion. That's what you don't do. And you definitely don't react out of fear. You don't react from the part that's tired and just wants fast money. You gotta react from strategy. Here's the formula. Number one, and write this down if you need to, feel free. Number one, pause. Do not answer immediately. If they call you, don't answer immediately. If they text you, don't respond immediately. Toxic clients expect you to jump because you always did before. The silence breaks the pattern. That's very important, if not one of the most important parts of this whole breakdown. Number two, ask yourself one question. If this opportunity wasn't coming from them, would I still be excited? If the answer is no, you already know what to do. Number three, write down how they made you feel. And for a lot of my guys out there, I know this is not our favorite thing to do. Sit down and write down feelings. Feels a little emotional, but it helps. You got to get that pride out your head. Do it. You don't got to do it in front of everybody. Hell, you don't even got to do this in front of your girl or your wife or whatever. Just do it when you're alone. But write it down. I promise you, to make you feel better. So write down how they made you feel. Literally. The disrespect, the exhaustion, the anxiety. You need the reminder. Trust me, when you write it out, it'll kind of like remind you in the most vivid way. And number four, identify what you're actually tempted by. Is it the money? Is it the fear? Is it confidence? Is it security? Usually it's not the job. It's the relief attached to the job. Number five, compare the price to the cost. The price is the money, but the cost is your peace, momentum, creativity, and sanity. Toxic clients always cost more than they pay. Remember that. Number six, respond professionally, not emotionally. So Eric texted back. Yeah, we're going back to Eric. Let's bring him back in. So he texted back, hey, thanks for thinking of me. I'm currently focused on long-term clients who align with my schedule and workflow. I won't be able to take this on, but I wish you guys the best and thank you for everything. No anger, no revenge, no pettiness, just boundaries. Because you don't want to give people a reason to talk bad about you and try to show your words to other people and make you look how they want to manipulate you. I mean, they already can, but you don't want to give them anything more to do it with. And now, this is how Eric won in the end. The moment Eric declined, he expected to feel guilty. He expected to feel like he was throwing away money. And that's the guilt that comes up, like, for real. Especially if you got kids, you feel me on that. But instead, he felt powerful. Within a week, he reached out to three contractors he'd been meaning to contact. He landed 2 small gigs, and even though the money wasn't huge, his momentum returned. His peace returned. Because sometimes the universe waits for you to clear out the trash before it sends new opportunities. He didn't go back. He didn't fold. He didn't sell himself short in any type of way. And the lesson is simple. Toxic clients don't come back because they changed. They come back because you did. And once you grow past them, or once you grow out of your old habits, they no longer have access to the version of you that they could drain. So look, do not crawl back to the environment that made you question your value in the first place. You left for a reason. Honor that reason. Respect the version of yourself that had the courage to walk away. You can need the money without needing them. And when they come back with the gifts, money, promises, and fake humility, always remember, a toxic client's apology is a strategy, not a transformation. Stand firm. Your future clients are waiting for you out there, and they're watching how you treat yourself. So you gotta set that example for yourself. And here's a few extended words for my freelancers out there with kids. You gotta set example for your kids too. I think about that all the time. When my daughter's older and she comes to me, let's say she's a freelancer and she says, hey, this person is taking advantage of me and I don't really feel like I want to go back. The first thing as a father, the first thing I'm going to do is, nope, get rid of them. I got your back. Whatever I got to do. Like, whenever I feel myself slip into that weakness of going back to that, I think of how am I supposed to set an example for my daughter to, thrive and survive and stand up for herself if I'm not going to do it for myself. We could sit there and mask it with money and mask it with this and we need that. But at the end of the day, there are millions of people out there and we just got to go where we're celebrated, never where we're tolerated. On that note, have you a good night or good day, whatever time you're listening to this. And I hope you soak that in. I'll see you on the next one.